Morning. It is Wednesday, August the 28th, and you know what that means. It's Dynamite tonight. Here are your AEW headlines. Two really things that I want to discuss today. First, we got Ricochet will be making his debut on Dynamite tonight against Kyle Fletcher, and wondering how that's going to go. I'm curious to see how Ricochet does in AEW. Hopefully we'll hear him on the microphone, and maybe with some freedom that AEW gives wrestlers, we'll find out if he can do pretty good on the promo or if that's something he's going to have to work on. The other big thing I really wanted to talk about was Swerve Strickland. AEW has become Swerve's house. When he came over from WWE, at first it looked like, okay, are they going to be able to do anything with him? What's going to happen? But Fightful Select has reported that if you watched All In, Swerve re-signed a new deal on air there, and they're reporting that his contract really wasn't up until next year, but he went ahead and re-signed a new deal that he'll be with the company through 2028, and it is going to make him one of the highest paid people in AEW. But also, he was on the Rich Eisen show on his podcast, and they asked him about WWE, why he didn't think he succeeded there, and he said that all he would say it was political, okay? Just political. But also, he was talking about how he did in AEW, and this is where I think, a lot of credit needs to be given to Swerve. We saw him start to get over last year, and, the Continental Classic they had, he was in that. In his block, he made it to the finals where they had the three-way match, and Jon Moxley ended up winning it, but he at least made it to that. He did win the tag team championship with Keith Lee and looked like was going to have a good feud with him when he officially turned heel there, but Keith Lee had some injuries and health problems, and that sort of got chucked to the wayside. But he just grafted himself to where, you wanted to see him on TV. People started cheering him, even like through the Hangman feud, even though he broke into Hangman's house, his entrance was over, and he just had that badass attitude, and you wanted to cheer him regardless of what he done. So it made for good. He, beat Samoa Joe. He beat Christian at a pay-per-view, or, after he beat Samoa Joe and got the title, he beat Christian. He beat Will Ospreay. He beat Claudio, Roderick Strong. And, he loses the title to Danielson, but man, the match was great. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. I can't say enough about it. But just his whole character arc and everything that he's done, I think he's been a good champion. And with them signing a new deal, I think he's going to stay in the main event picture. We'll get to see some more of him and Hangman. That looks like a legacy feud. And I'm sure he's going to win the world title again and probably hold it a lot longer. But the interesting thing was in the interview, and asked about how he did, he said that when he first got there, it was about him. But then he learned that it wasn't about him, it was what Tony Khan wanted. And I just thought this was so great. He said if Tony needed him in a tag match, he'd do it. If Tony needed somebody to face Orange Cassidy and give him a good match, he would do it. Whatever Tony Khan needed, he would do it. And, all the promotional stuff he was promoting on radio stations, TV, podcasts, kept promoting the brand. And he earned Tony's trust, and he got rewarded with the World Championship. And I think he's had a great run here, like I said, and we're going to see a lot more and bigger things from him. But I just think that's a great story that somebody who's on the cusp of, getting to that main event, that they can follow Swerve's advice, do what the company needs, and then you can get rewarded. So till next time, don't make mistakes. Trust Ed Stakes.